Yo, what's up, guys? It's Zen, and we gonna get directly into the topic. But before we do that, I do want to appreciate that last video I had must have really touched you guys because it blew up, and I am definitely appreciative of all the views that last video got. But we gonna get directly into this heavy topic tonight, and I'm talking about substance abuse. And what I mean by that is, you know, when you get directly into it, you're talking about doing basically hard narcotics, anything like that that gets you hooked onto this specific drug that can potentially ruin or end your life. And how you get into that situation, it could be many different ways. You can have had a traumatic experience, or you could just be bottling things up, and then that one time that you try something, that one time can turn into 100 because that high makes all your problems seem to vanish for those couple of moments. But before I even really go into detail, I want to talk about what leads up to that. See, we as men were taught to not to show our emotions. We were taught to keep them bottled up, and we were taught to keep them inside. Even if we're going through a traumatic experience, if we express them, we're looked upon as being weak because we go through these things, and we don't really have an outlet, whether it be friends or even relationships. And let's be honest, when we in relationships and we talk about these things, 9 times out of 10 during an argument, it's thrown back in our faces. And if you've been with any toxic partner, you know what I'm talking about. So I say that all to say, a lot of men go through a lot of emotional turmoil and traumatic experiences, and they feel like whenever they try to find outlets, it's either looked down upon or they're ridiculed. And that's when they start turning to substances to try to alleviate that stress. And even though it might vanish for a time during that high, but when you come down, that reality hits you like a ton of bricks, and then you constantly got to get that fix again. You constantly have to doing whatever you have to do to get up the funds to get that fix. And then that's when it becomes a problem. Your life is around, it revolves around that particular narcotic, and you start distancing yourself from friends. Your appearance changes. You get into the wrong crowd. You start not becoming yourself. Potentially you look like a zombie when you start doing these hard narcotics. I'm trying to keep this clean for YouTube, so if you want a full version of this video that's uncensored, I'll put it on Patreon if you guys like. But back to what I was saying, you become potentially a zombie. It's not, you look different, you move different. It's like you can't function without this particular narcotic, and then you begin to start doing things to get it. You eventually become a fiend. You begin to start, stealing. You start betraying family. You start betraying friends and everything like that. And you feel like your life is spiraling, and only this narcotic can alleviate you for a quick minute. But then even you begin to realize it's not doing anything anymore, and then you start, going into despair. And if you try to work on anything, it becomes, metaphorically speaking, everything you touch goes to shit. So I already just covered what it can do to your life, but I am here to tell you that there is a silver lining in that dark cloud. Now, I'm not here to preach to you, but God says I help those who help themselves. So I don't know whoever's listening to this, but whoever's going through something, if you have issues, abusing the substance, or you feel like you can't get away from it, you can always seek help. You can always, go to therapy. One, it has to start with you. That's at the end of the day. No one is gonna help you unless you help yourself. So if you have to feel like you need to get away from everything, or just stop taking it cold turkey, or even go to a different location, do what you have to do to try to get yourself off of this, because 9 times out of 10 it's only going to lead you to two places: the jail or the grave. And honestly, we don't need more men in jail right now. We don't need more men kissing, pushing up daisies. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it gets, and I know this is gonna sound crazy, but situations like that, it has to get worse before it gets better. And when it does get better, you're gonna realize, you know what, I'm a lot stronger than what I think I was. Because when you're on those substances, you honestly think yourself, you think you're a lot weaker than what you actually are. You know, you think, okay, maybe I'm in this alone. Maybe I don't understand, and maybe people don't understand. They're gonna look down on me. They're gonna ridicule me, and I will become a burden to other people. And that's not something that I wanna. I don't need more stress on me than what I have now. And I'm gonna just say this straight up, like, fuck society, because the society portrait of men. I'm sorry, the society portrait of men is wrong. Straight up, there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's wrong. It tells us to pretty much essentially be machines, and we're human. We have emotions too, and we go through things. And this is why. That's why, if you going through these things and those thoughts in your mind, maybe let me just smoke this real quick. Let me just shoot this up real quick. That's when you really need to start seeking therapy, or you need to go and get some help, because that one incident can ruin your entire life or even end it. And that's not something you want to do, and that's not something I know for a fact that God wouldn't want on your life, because at the end of the day, that's a gateway that'll just open you to a literal hell that you don't need to be a part of. Also, there's another thing too. Like I said, this may sound crazy. Even go to a church, not one of those fake churches. And you know what I'm talking about, the ones that be doing all that extra bullshit. I'm talking about actual churches that can not only speak to you spiritually, but that also be willing to help you better yourself. Or you can listen to videos like this, because I know a lot of times when people are sitting there going through these tough times, especially with those substances, it's like a spiritual chain on them, and they're trying to find ways to get out. Whether whether you find this video or you find something else that might help you. All I know is this: you, as a young man, whoever's listening to this video, you are a lot stronger than what you think you are. And there's a purpose on your life that God has for you that you don't even realize is going to happen. All that you have to do is start believing and working on yourself. In order to beat the substance, you have to learn to live without it. You have to learn to get off of it and not be dependent on it anymore. It's kind of like a crutch. It's like learning to walk again. You put the crutches down and you take one step at a time. You know what I'm saying? You can either wean yourself off or just go cold turkey. It may be hard. It will be. But you know what? It'll make you stronger in the end. And the reason why I'm saying I'm sounding like a motivational speaker is because I've seen close friends and family go through the same thing, and I've seen them come back from it. And they came back a lot stronger than they was when they was going in. You feel what I'm saying? So I really just wanted to make this video for you guys. And if you guys really like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really does help. A like is free. It helps bring up the algorithm, so that way YouTube can see more of my videos. And if you guys really like the content, please leave a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all stay blessed, man.